Dear students, Namaste and welcome you to the next class of Compulsory English, Grade 10. How are you, dear students? I hope you are all doing good. Okay, students, do you know what we are going to do in our class today? Exactly, we are going to deal with Unit 10. Especially, we'll be dealing with the reading exercise 1. Okay? So, dear students, before we start the lesson, I do have some question for discussion for you. So, there is a question for you. Do you play games? Certainly your answer will be yes, because most of us love to play games. So, certainly you may play the games. But the next question is there. What games do you play? If you have to play the games, or if you want to play the games, what games do you play? Can you say? Okay, please say what games you like to play. Alright, you said football. Okay, somebody is saying volleyball. What next? Don't you like to play athletics? Okay, so you like high jump. Alright. What next? Okay, race. Very good. Alright. Okay, so there are many other games you like to play. So, next question to you. Do you play in a team or alone? You know well, some of the games are played in a team. Okay, some of the games you compete alone. So, which one do you prefer? Do you like to play in the teams or do you like to play alone? Right, so it may depend on the nature of the game. Okay? For example, football, you cannot play alone. You need to play in a team. If you are playing chess, you may compete with your competitor alone. Okay? Alright, dear students, it was a nice discussion. Now we'll enter into our lesson. Dear students, please turn a book and look at the Getting Started section of your book. Okay? So, you can see there what activities are shown in the pictures below. Talk about their importance. You can see 4 different pictures there in the textbook. Now, can you tell me what activities are shown in these pictures? Can you tell me? Okay, let's look at the very first picture. So, what activity do you see here? Alright, you mean some girls are playing volleyball there. Okay, it's volleyball. They are playing volleyball. Very good. Let's look at the second picture. What are they doing? Can you tell me? Alright, that's good. They are playing basketball. That's good. Very good. Now, let's look at the third picture. What do you see there? Okay, there is a chessboard. Very good. So, it's chess. Okay. Then look at the last one. What do you see here? Okay, you can see the tracks there. It's in the field. So, what do you think they are doing? Okay, it's race. They are racing there. Okay, now the next thing is that, so the different activities are here. So, they are playing volleyball, they are playing basketball, chess is there, race is there. So, what are the importance of such activities then? Do you know? Okay, before we enter into this, you need to know that among these activities, volleyball, basketball and chess, they are indoor activities. Race is outdoor activities. So, these all activities come under games and sports. So, now I am relating you to the importance of games and sports. So, why do we need games and sports? Why are they important for us? Can you say? Okay, that's good. Games and sports are needed for us to be physically, mentally, socially, and emotionally fit. So, games help us to be physically fit. For example, we run, we jump, that they make us physically fit. Similarly, while playing games, even we need to make different decisions, take different ideas, play different tricks, so that help us to be mentally fit also. Similarly, most of the games are social activities also. We play in teams. So most of the sports are team sports. If we can work in a team, then we can win. So they help us to be developed socially also. Similarly, games, when we say, sometimes we win, sometimes we lose, sometimes some conflict may arise, but we need to handle all these situations. So this helps us to be emotionally fit too. Okay, students, now let's enter into the reading text. Okay, before we discuss the reading text, we do have some pre-reading activities. So first we'll discuss them. So look at the pictures on the screen there or in your textbook, and there are some questions you have to answer on the basis of these two pictures. Okay, first look at the pictures. Okay, so see the first picture. What do you see here? Look at the second picture. What do you see there? So the same question is there. What objects can you see in the picture? Okay, this is the question. So can you tell me, what do you see there? Okay, so there is a torch and the flame. You can see here the torch and the flame. So you can see the women in different colors holding the rings of different colors. You see how many rings are there? Can you count? Okay, certainly there are 5 rings. So 5 rings are there. 5 women are holding these rings. So there is a torch, and you can see the flame on the torch. Similarly, here you can see the playground. People are playing. Some of them are watching the play or match. You can see there, is it? So we can see the Olympic torch. This one is Olympic torch, and there is flame. You can see the flame there in red like brown like color, orange color. So similarly, 5 women holding 5 rings of different colors. Similarly, the second picture shows the people playing and watching games. You do have second question on the basis of this picture also. So on the basis of these 2 pictures, you have to answer the next question also. You do have a question here. What do they represent? Means, in earlier question, we discussed what objects are shown in the pictures. We discussed different objects, for example, rings, Olympic torch, flame, people playing. We discussed different things. Now, what do they represent then? That's the question. For example, what do these rings represent? Okay, so let's see, what do they represent? So the Olympic torch and flame represent positive values that men from history have connected to the fire. See there, the torch, the flame, they have connection to the fire, and they indicate the positive values. Similarly, this also links the ancient and the modern games. See there, this has a linkage to ancient Olympic games and modern Olympic games. Okay, we'll discuss later when the ancient Olympic games were played and when modern Olympic games are played, have been playing, I mean. So see there, this flame also shows the connection between them. Similarly, you can see the rings we have already discussed, 5 rings of different colors. They indicate 5 continents participating in the Olympic Games and their unity. Okay. Similarly, if you look at the second picture, it represents the ancient Olympic Games. Okay. So this is what you need to know about these 2 pictures. Dear students, now we are going to discuss the reading text. Do you know the topic of the reading text today? After these discussions, I hope you can easily guess. Can you guess? All right, very good. We are going to discuss on the topic of Olympic Games. So our title is the first Olympic Games. Okay, the first Olympic Games. So please look at the very first part of the text. So see there, in ancient Greece. Do you know ancient means? All right, The word ancient means belonging to a period of history that is thousands of years in the past, means things that happened thousands of years ago. So, in ancient Greece, there lived a man called Tantalus. Okay, this is the name of the man. You remember this. You need to recall his name till the end when we do exercises also. So, Tantalus. Okay, he was half man and half god. See that? Okay, half man, half god. So there is one reason also why it happened. See, his father was the great Greek god Zeus. Okay, see there. His father was the great god Zeus. Maybe his mother can be a normal human being. So that's why he might have been half man and half god or something else. But he is half man and half god. He is the son of Greek god Zeus. See there is a very interesting incident that led to the beginning of Olympic Games. See there. One day, Zeus invited him up to Mount Olympus. Mount Olympus. Mount Olympus is the tallest mountain in Greece. Okay, so this is Mount Olympus. This is the tallest mountain or highest mountain in Greece. So, Tantalus was invited over here, means there the Greek gods used to stay. The Greek gods used to stay there. That's why he was invited there for the dinner. So, high above the clouds for dinner. He was invited there. When Tantalus received the invitation, when he got the invitation from the gods, he became very proud. He was very proud. Dinner with the gods? He was surprised. So he thought it. Okay? It was a great thing for a person who is a half man and half god. So invitation from the god was a matter of surprise. That's why he said, dinner with the gods? He said, what a grand honor. See there? So it's a matter of respect for him also. It's a matter of honor for him. So said Tantalus and climbed up to the very top, means top of the Mount Olympus, in his embroidered robes. See there, do you know the meaning of the word embroidered? Can you say? Okay, embroidered means decorate cloth with a pattern of stitches, means with thread, with thread of maybe of different colors. So some pattern is made on the cloth. Okay, that is embroidered. And immediately there is robes. Do you know the meaning of the word robes? Okay, robes means a long, loose outer piece of cloth. So robes means long, loose pieces of clothing. Okay, long, loose pieces of clothing. You can see even in the picture. For example, you see, so you can see the embroidery there in this picture also. So different patterns are made on the cloth here. Okay, so embroidered robe. This is the example of an embroidered robe. Okay, he climbed up to the very top of Mount Olympus in his embroidered robes to dine with his father and the other gods. They had an exquisite dinner together. So do you know the meaning of exquisite? Okay, it means excellent, very good. Okay, very good dinner he had with the gods. Dear students, now I have a question on that is based on this discussion. So the question is, how was Tantalus different from other people? Can you say? How was he different from other people? Okay, he was half man and half god. Similarly, there is a next question also. Why did Tantalus go to the top of Mount Olympus? I have given some alternatives for you. Because he was half god, because his father was god, because he was very proud, because the gods invited him for dinner. Why? Why did he go there? We have already discussed. Please do remember. Find out from the text we discussed. Can you say? All right. So, because the gods invited him dinner. Where do you find this? Can you tell me? Where do you find this? Answer. Okay, so see there. One day Jews invited him up to Mount Olympus. See there, high above the clouds for dinner. You can find the answer there. The next morning, Tantalus lay in bed remembering the glorious evening. See, do you know the meaning of the word glorious? Okay, glorious means delightful, wonderful, or completely enjoyable. So he had a delightful evening because he had a great dinner with the gods. Then he thought, I must return the invitation, means he must invite the gods too. So, but what can I serve them? Means he is worried about, means he was worried about the food to be given to the gods. So he thought, I must give them something I value more than anything. So most important thing in his life he want to give to the god. He thought, what can be that thing? So and then Tantalus had a terrible idea, a horrible one. So when he was thinking about what to offer to the god, he had a very terrible or horrible idea. So do you know the meaning of the words terrible and horrible? Okay, both terrible and horrible means very bad idea came in the mind. Why the idea is very bad? Because he decided to take his son Pelops, you see, Pelops is the name of Tantalus' son, and chop him up and serve him as a stew to the gods. See, he decided to do that. He decided to chop his son. Do you know the meaning of the word chop? Chop means cut into pieces. So he decided to cut his son and cook a stew to give to the god. Stew means, do you know? Okay, stew means meat cooked in hot liquid for a long time. See, he is going to offer the meat of his own son. So the gods who saw everything were furious. Furious means they became very angry to see that. We will have to punish him. See, Tantalus did something bad, something wrong, a very horrible thing he did. That's why the god decided to punish him. As a punishment, they sent him down to the underworld. So under this world, where he had to stand in water up to his neck forever. See there? So he had to stand in water, and that water is up to his neck, and he had to stand there forever. This kind of punishment was given to Tantalus by the gods. Okay, students, after this discussion, I have some question for you. Okay, the question is, what did Tantalus value more than anything? Because in the text we discussed that Tantalus said, I must give them something I value more than anything. So what's that valuable thing? So you do have some options also. The dinner with the god, his pride, his son, or his father. What is the most valuable thing for him? Can you say? Okay, certainly it is his son. That's good. So you do have next question also. The question is, why did the gods punish Tantalus? Okay, we discussed about the punishment given to Tantalus by the gods. Okay, so he had to stand in water up to his neck forever. That was the punishment. So why did the gods punish Tantalus then? Can you tell me? All right, they punished because he killed his son to offer the stew to the gods. That's why he was punished. Let's discuss next. Meanwhile, the gods brought Pelops back to life. Means Pelops was killed by his father, but gods made him alive again. As a special present, they gave him a chariot with a team of snow-white horses that could run faster than the wind. You see there. So they also gave him a gift, a present, that was a chariot. So chariot means a small carriage pulled by horses. You can see in the picture here. Okay, you can see. So you see they gave him a chariot with a team of snow-white horses, means white horses. They are pulling the chariot there, you can see in the picture. Okay, and those horses could run faster than the wind. See here. So they had very high speed. Take these horses, said Zeus to Pelops, and find yourself a kingdom, for you shall become a great ruler. See there. Now they also, or Zeus also gave him a blessing that he could, if he could find a kingdom, he could be a great ruler. Pelops thanked the gods and mounted his chariot and galloped down the dusty mountain road and out onto the plain. See there, after he got the blessing from the god, Pelops thanked the gods and then he mounted. Mounted means got on his chariot and galloped. Galloped means rode a horse very fast, means he started his journey down to the mountain because he was on the top of the mountain. Now he moved down to the mountain to the plain. As he came around a curve, he reined in his horses, means he stopped his horses. Okay, so why did he stop his horses? Because he saw an old man dressed in rags by the side of the road. So he saw the old man dressed in rags. Rags means a piece of old, often torn cloth. Okay, he saw such old man wearing rags there. Then the old man asked him, "Where are you going?" He shouted. The old man shouted to Pelops, and Pelops told, "I am off to find a kingdom," means I am on the journey to find a kingdom. Pelops replied, means answer to the old man. "Then I have an idea for you," said the old man. So old man had an idea. What idea can you guess? The idea to find the kingdom. Okay, so he had the idea to find the kingdom. All right, so let's see a question here. Why did Pelops stop on his way? Can you tell me? We have already discussed. Okay, he stopped. Why? So you do have some options. Because Zeus stopped him, because he found the kingdom, he saw an old man, he got his life back. Why? Why did he stop there? Okay, so the right answer is C, he saw an old man. Okay. All right, let's move ahead. I know of a kingdom called Alice, where a beautiful princess lives. See, the old man is telling to Pelops. Her name is Hippodamia. Okay, the name of the princess is Hippodamia. The man who marries the princess will inherit her father's kingdom. Do you know the meaning of the word inherit? Inherit means to receive. So the man who would marry the princess would receive the father's kingdom, means would become the king. That sounds perfect, said Pelops, because Pelops was looking for a kingdom and he was going to find a kingdom. That's why he said that sounds perfect. There's just one problem. There's a problem concerned the old man. The old man warned Pelops that there is a problem in marrying the princess. The problem is, if you want to marry the princess, you have to run a chariot race against the old king, means the father of the princess. Okay, there would be a race. If you win, you get the princess and the kingdom. See, if Pelops could win, he would be the king. If not, what would happen? See, if you lose, you get your head chopped off. See there. Do you know the meaning of the word chopped? Chopped means cut into pieces. Cut. His head would be cut off. Okay, he would be headless, beheaded. So far 12 people have lost. Means 12 people had already been killed because they could not win the race. I won't lose, said Pelops. He was very confident. My horses can run faster than wind, because the gods had given him the horses. But the kings can run faster than lightning. The old man said. I'm not afraid, said Pelops. He thanked the old man and started up, means he continued his journey. He began to move towards the kingdom of Alice. Okay, again after this also, I want to remind you something. So I have a question. What should Pelops do to be the king? If he wanted to be the king, what should he do? Can you say? Marry the princess, win the war, kill the king, compete in the race. What should he do? Can you tell me? Okay, so you do have two confusing alternatives here. Marry the princess, compete in the race. So they seem to be the answers like. Okay, But among these two also, the most important thing is that to marry the princess. If he could compete, just competing in the race is not enough. He should win. If he won, he could marry the princess. Just competing is not enough. That's why marry the princess is the right answer. Let's move to next. After many hours, he reached the palace and wished to see the king. The servants led him to the king's chamber. There he saw the beautiful princess Hippodamia sitting next to the king. So see there, after a long journey, he reached to the palace and he wanted to meet the king there. And the servants told him or led him to the king's chamber. Do you know the meaning of the word chamber? Can you tell me? Chamber means a room used for a particular purpose. Okay. So, means for example, king sits in the room, maybe it's his official room there. Okay. There he saw a beautiful princess, Hippodamia. We know that he had to marry this princess. So she was sitting next to the king and her black eyes sparkled. Sparkled means shined brightly, became bright like stars when she saw the handsome young visitor. See, that means she liked him. Pelops bowed low before the king, means he showed respect to the king. I have come to woo. Woo means marry. Okay, I have come to woo means marry. Marry your daughter, he said. My daughter and my kingdom are yours, the king said, if you win the chariot race. We already know that there was a condition to win the race. My horses can run faster than the wind, said Pelops. So he was confident that he would win. But the king also countered him, saying, mine can run faster than lightning. See there, his can run faster than lightning. The king countered. Do you know the meaning of the word countered? Countered means reply to somebody to prove that what they said was not true. Means Pelops would not win. He would win because his horses run faster than lightning. The king meant to say that. Okay, let's see. There's a question. Did Hippodamia like Pelops? How do you know? Did she like? Certainly, yes. She liked Pelops because her eyes sparkled as soon as she saw him. Similar next question is also there. What was the condition to marry the princess? We have already discussed the condition. The condition was one should win the chariot race against the king. Pelops should win the chariot race against the king if he wanted to marry the princess. He had never lost a race. He means the king. King had never lost a race because his horses were magic. Means they had magical power and they were given to him. They had been given to him by Ares, the god of war. That's why he was also confident that he would win the race. Tomorrow morning at sunrise, the king declared the race shall begin. So the king made announcement. Declared means told something officially. He told that tomorrow morning means he fixed the time. Tomorrow morning at sunrise, the race shall begin. He fixed it. Later that evening, the princess wandered, means moved around, out near the king's stables. Stables means the place where horses are kept. So, she did not see the stable boy who was brushing the horses' shiny black coats so they would look their best for the race in the morning. So, see there, stable boy means the boy who used to look after the horses, and he was brushing the horses to make them shiny or bright or beautiful for the race for the next morning. Hippodamia looked up at the starlit sky, means she looked in the sky and it was starlit. Starlit means with the light of from stars, means there was light from stars, and said to herself, means she made a wish dreamily. She dreamed, she made a wish. Oh, I do wish my father would lose the race, just this once. See there. See, Hippodamia wanted her father to lose the race. Means she wanted Pelops to win the race. Means she wanted to marry Pelops and made him the king. See there. Now the stable boy, who had always adored the princess from afar, overheard Hippodamia. Means the boy who used to work or take care of the horses there, he adored, means he liked her very much. So he liked the princess very much. So he heard Hippodamia's wish and he thought, I can make her wish come true. He thought after the princess went inside, he carefully took out the bronze pins that held the great wooden wheels on the chariot and replaced them with pins made of candle wax. See there were bronze pins to tie the wheels with the carriage, with the chariot. He took them out and replaced them with the pins made of candle wax, and you know well, candle wax melts easily in the heat. Okay, so this was what the stable boy did. So there is a question, how did the stable boy help the princess to make her wish come true? And just we discussed, the answer is he replaced the bronze pins of the king's chariot with the pins of candle wax. Let's continue the discussion. Early next morning, the royal musicians blew their horns. Horns means musical instruments. For example, you can see these are the horns. Say they blew, they played, that means. Crowds of people gathered on the lush means growing thickly and strongly, lush green fields of Olympia. The king stood in his chariot, his helmet gleaming in the sun means shining brightly in the sun. He was hardly able to hold back his snorting horses. Snorting means, see there, breathing air noisily, means because of because they are also racing in the race or running in the race. His horses pawed the ground, means the horses they use their legs to dig a little on the ground. The signal was given and the race started. They were up, means the race started. On my fiery steeds, shouted the king. Fiery means fire-like, okay, looking like fire. Steeds means horses. So he told to his horses, shouted the king. Faster, shouted Pelops. The crowd cheered, means they wanted to win either Pelops or the king. The horses galloped neck to neck, means there was a very tight competition, tough competition. Faster than wind, faster than lightning. You know, Pelops' horses ran faster than wind. King's horses ran faster than lightning. Now thought the king, I will pull ahead and win. He thought that. He whipped. Whipped means he hit with the piece of rope or leather to the horses so that they would run faster. But instead of speeding up, they fell behind. The horses fell behind. Something was wrong. The wax pins had melted in the heat. Suddenly the wheels flew up and the king was thrown to death. See there. King fell off the chariot and died. In this way, who won the race? Pelops won the race. So again, I do have some question. Who is more responsible for the king's death? Who do you think? Is it the princess, the stable boy, the king himself, or Pelops? So certainly the answer is the stable boy, because he replaced the bronze pins with the pins made of candle wax. Now, let's see. Of course, Pelops had won the race. So he would marry Hippodamia and rule the kingdom, because this was the condition. But Pelops and Hippodamia, they were not happy. They were very sad because the king had died. He had not really been a mean king. You see, it's just that he had loved his daughter so much, he didn't want to give her away in marriage. That's why he had kept that strong condition for the marriage of his daughter. So before the wedding, Pelops and Hippodamia decided to have a great funeral feast. Funeral means a ceremony of burying or burning a dead person. So to honor the king, they decided to have a great funeral feast. For that, they invited heroes. Heroes means brave men from all over Greece to take part in athletic games and races in memory of the king's great chariot race. See there for that. Pelops declared means ordered officially, decreed. Pelops decreed means ordered officially that such games should be held every 4 years till the end of time, means forever. And since the game took place on the fields of Olympia, they have been known ever since as the Olympic Games. See there, the name Olympic came from the fields of Olympia. They were held in Olympia, that's why they were named as Olympic Games. So there is a question for you. Why had the king kept a difficult condition for the marriage of his daughter? What's the reason? Because he was mean? Because he loved his daughter much? Because he did not want overrule the kingdom, or because he was a wise king? What's the answer? So, and the answer is because he loved his daughter much. Because of daughter's love, he kept that condition so that the daughter would be with him always. Pelops and his lovely Hippodamia went on to become wise and good rulers of the great kingdom Alice. They ruled well. True to Pelops' decree means official declaration order, the games were held every 4 years on the fields of Olympia. This continued. But see, something wrong happened. Around 500 AD, there was a great earthquake that knocked down the buildings and a huge flood that covered the fields with water and mud. See there, during 500 AD, there was earthquake that knocked down the buildings. Knocked down means caused to fall to the ground, means destroyed the buildings, and the flood covered the Olympic fields. As a result, the fields remained buried for almost 1500 years, and as they could not see, as people forgot about the Olympic Games, as they could not see the Olympic fields. And as they could not see, many people believed the fields and the games had never ever existed. It was just a myth, or somebody told it was just a hearsay. People thought it was not reality. People thought. So, why did the Olympic Games not continue after 500 AD? Can you tell me? Yes, because the Olympic fields were covered with water and mud after the earthquake. Now, let's see the last one. Imagine their surprise when 1875 archaeologists dug into the earth at just the right place and discovered the ancient fields of Olympia, where the games had taken place so long ago. See there, in 1875, archaeologist means people who study the buildings, graves and other things from the past. Those people, they dug there and they found the right place and they discovered means found something that was hidden. So, they found the hidden fields of Olympia, where the Olympic Games were conducted long ago. So, after that was discovered, there was a great rejoicing. Rejoicing means a great celebration, happy celebration around the world. And with the help of a Frenchman named Baron Pierre de Coubertin, this is the name of the person who began the Olympic Games again, who started the Olympic Games again. And today, the Olympic Games continue. Every 4 years, it's conducted. Every 4 years, athletes from all over the world come together to compete in a spirit of peace and friendship. See there, from all over the world, from different countries, they take part in Olympic Games. And when they take part, they have the feelings of peace and friendship. Okay. The games are held in different countries, not in Greece now, in different countries, okay? And sometimes it's held in China, sometimes Japan, sometimes America, in different countries. And an Olympic flame is always kept burning in the stadium until the games have ended. And we have discussed in the very beginning the Olympic flame that is kept burning in the stadium. Stadium means a sports ground with rows of seats, means where we can sit and enjoy the sports. There, the burning flame is kept throughout the games. And this flame, see, is lit from the rays of the sun on the Olympic fields in Greece. See there, the flame is brought from Greece and it is lit with the help of the rays of the sun, okay, not the matchsticks and matchbox, okay. It's from the rays of the sun. The flame is lit and it's kept in the stadium throughout the match. So, you do have a final question here. How did the archaeologists bring joy into the world? How did they make people happy? So, they made people happy. You do have different options: by starting the Olympic Games again, by burning the Olympic flames, by playing the Olympic Games, by finding the fields of ancient Olympic Games. So, can you tell me how? Right, by finding the fields of ancient Olympic games. This is the answer. So in this way, dear students, we are at the end of today's lesson. I hope today's lesson helped you in understanding this text. Today, we discussed different sports activities and discussed the importance of games and sports. Similarly, we discussed some pre-reading questions given in the beginning of the reading text. Then we discussed the reading text with the questions. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you very much. Namaste.